Evelyn to Philip, V-mail dated May 25th, 1944. Darling hubby, still no word from you, and today is exactly 1 week since my last letter from you. I can't understand such a long delay. Could it be that you've moved once again? I've been looking forward to the letter you wrote on Mother's Day, and I'm sure you wrote that day. And since your mail is usually only 5 days old, well, I did have some mail, a V-mail from Milt, and a nice long letter from Faye. Milt said he thought the training in the States was tough, but the islands had it beat to hell. He was in a black mood when he wrote the V-mail, saying the food was lousy, no cigarettes, and no cool drinks. He said the hot sun knocks him for a loop. Faye, on the other hand, raved about the setup. She had all conveniences necessary for a baby and sees Morris every night and all day Saturday and Sunday. She sounds as happy as a lark, and I think she did the right thing when she joined him. She's in Columbia, South Carolina. I worked 7.5 hours for Miss Hahn today, getting my usual ride down with Mr. Fromer and Son. I promised to go there again next Thursday. Today, by the way, is my folks' 23rd anniversary. We also received an APO card with Max Brown's name on it, a New York post office. Wonder where he'll wind up. I just happened to think, last night was the first night I'd been to the Broad movies since we went there together almost 10 months ago. It doesn't seem like 10 months. It seems like 10 years and more. Goldie tells me that her stepmother wrote you a letter, which you probably received by this time. Stuart Chase is okay once more, for which fact Ethel is mighty grateful. My brother Eddie didn't send my mother anything for Mother's Day, and he had me wondering. However, the other day she received a letter stating that he had sent her a pin and was sending her a large picture of himself. As I said yesterday, I owe you a long letter, but honestly, sweets, I just can't get down to some earnest writing and hope you'll understand. I promise to write a real longie just as soon as I hear from you. Guess I'll have to repeat something I've been telling you since the day I met you, some 5 odd years ago, that I love and adore you only and always will. I'm in one of those daydreaming moods thinking of what I'd do to you were you close by, the things we used to do, and how happy we were doing them, and how happy we will be someday, loving, laughing, and living once again. This time with a daughter, or perhaps someone else, sharing our love and happiness. Darling, when, oh when will you return to your loving Ev? Philip to Evelyn, 25 May, 1944. Dearest darling, just received a nice long letter from Dot, but none from you. This afternoon I managed to get off a V-mail to Gloria. I also sent a letter to Sharp and Dome. There was a USO show at the Base Theater this evening. It was titled Going to Town. The MC was Tiny Day, and though he's a fair entertainer, his act fell flat because we had seen him at our last base. The surrounding show was only fair, consisting of a gal from Staten Island who did an acrobatic dance, a gal from London who sang a few songs, not too well, a gal magician from Berkeley, California, who gave out with a lot of outdated tricks, a comedian who just didn't click, and 3 acrobatic young men who did unbelievable things with their bodies and proved to be the only real success of the evening. Last night I saw Government Girl with Olivia de Havilland, Anne Shirley, and Sonny Tufts. It was a fairly good comedy and would have been much better if it weren't for the almost insufferable overacting of Olivia de Havilland, of all people. I don't know what got into her, but she was so unlike the old Olivia that I could hardly believe my eyes. When she tries to be cute, she only succeeds in giving the impression of being a big, overgrown baby. In the climactic scene, she tries too hard to be impressive, and the odor of ham pervades everything. It is downright sickening. The supporting players are wonderful in comparison. Sonny Tufts, the male lead, is a big blonde hulk, but cute as his first name. You probably have the impression, sweet, that I spend most of my time gadding about from one show to another, and I'll, page 2, admit it certainly sounds like it. But the truth is, those few hours in the theater each day is just about the only thing worth writing about. Moreover, the opportunity to get away from oneself via this medium is a blessing that I, for one, will never stop appreciating. The daily grind continues to be just that. The same things happen in the same way at the same time. Is it any wonder the only different things I can find to write about are the different shows that come to the base? Tomorrow, Alan Ladd in Lucky Jordan is the feature. I've seen this one with you, I think, and I'm hoping tomorrow will bring lots of mail from you, Chippy, so I'll have something to do in the evening. I think it's high time I wrote you a nice long letter anyway. For the time being, though, I'm at a loss for more to say, except I love you dearly. That is an omnipresent fact. Just as constant and pressing is my ever-growing desire to hold my baby. Just looking at her likeness leaves me strangely uncomforted. Good night for now, my darlings. My love to all. Ever your Phil.